Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is Devin with Crafts Her Way by Devin Seward. And today, hi, everybody, I'm here. And today we're going to be showing you what we did do last week. And I'm not going to decorate them much, but I will show you what I did to them on Friday because we're going to be doing the drawing. And so this is what we did the other day. I was making coasters for my mother for her kitchen. That's a great big one. And then here's how our little ones turned out. As you can see them, nice and pretty. Nice and shiny on both sides. I still have to sand these. And here's the other one. It's the same. Nice and pretty. Still got to sand the other side. And then we made some beautiful little snowflakes. A beautiful little snowflake. And today we're going to do another one. I like the way the pointed is. If you can see, it's got like a little arrow to it. So, yeah. That's my arrow. It's pretty neat. I like that. Hold on one second. Okay. But anyway, there it is. There you have our pretty little snowflake. And we put some white snowflake in it. And then we used the blue, a light blue. Made it really, really pretty. Okay. And so there's that one. And we're going to set these over here for now. Let me get those out of the way. There's so many of them. Hold on one second. So in order to make room on the table, because it's kind of small in here, and then we had our little turtle shaker. Our turtle shaker, our little seashell. This is the bottom of it, and this was the top, and this is a soap tray, everybody. It's kind of rough and dented in the center. That way the seashells kind of, and the soap bar will lay down in there. And I really like that. I think it turned out really good. I'm so proud of it. So there you have it. That's my soap bar. Sorry, my soap tray. So I can put my bar on it. Alrighty. And then here was our froggy. And we got her all done. And we're going to be pouring another one of those today because we're playing the frog game. So this one here is blue and white. So the deal today is name that frog. Okay? So don't forget to name your frog. Name this frog. She has blue eyes. She's blue and white. And the drawing for the frog will be on October 30th. So don't forget. We're so close. Alrighty. Now, then we had our little smiley faces, which if you can see, there's an eye here, a little nose, and the mouth. But what I kind of did was just decorate him, kind of makes him a little paperweight. And I will color in his eyes in that. We will put that on the next show because we have a lot to get done today. All right, and this is our little frog we'll be pouring today. And then here's our other little turtle shaker. We'll be making another one of those also. We're hanging on to them pretty tight. And here's our little lid for the shaker. And then here is our snowflake, and we're going to be pouring 2 of those today. And then we are going to be using some silver. So inside our little bitty turtle, let me get him over here, move my froggy up, and him down there. Inside my little bitty turtle here in the middle, I'm going to pour just a little bit of this silver. It's really pretty. Some silver glitter. When it'll go in there. There we go. Alrighty. And then we're just going to give that a little shake around. Just like that. And then we have a little yellow butterfly, yellow dragonfly. She's kind of a greenish yellow, if you can see her there. All right, and we're going to place her down in there, just like that. And then we're going to be taking our little cap here, and we're going to be gluing it on to the top of our turtle shaker. So give me 1 minute, and I will get the resin, or the UV, and the UV E6000, and I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Alrighty. I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk loud enough so y'all can hear me. I gotta get this open real quick because they're hard to open after they close. They get a seal around them. You gotta peel it off. Okay. It's like you gotta have muscles to get them back open if you don't seal them beforehand. Hold on 1 second. Get a different one here. There we go. That one come pretty easy. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my little poker here, if you can see it. And I'm going to go into the tip of this and scrape some out. You just kind of want to get enough of it on there. That string off of there. And I'm just going to lightly go around the outside edge of this with this little scraper. Trying not to get it inside so my dragonfly doesn't stick to it, because you don't want him to stick. I'm sorry guys, this is a part takes just a few minutes. And you just get a hold of him and kind of drag him. Just keep pulling. All right, and then we're going to put the lid back on here. I'm going to wipe this off. Just wiping it with the regular old towel. And we're going to take this cap and just ever so gently, you're going to place it down on there. You want it nice and centered. Make sure all of it's covered. There we go. That's good. And we're just going to set him back here to dry. Okay. Now, we're going to start back where we were yesterday. And while we do that, I'm going to glue my little eyeballs down in here. So grabbing some eyes. I think I want to do some, we're doing a blue one. I think I want to do some yellow eyes for the blue one. So that way they stand out. Okay. And I'm going to grab my little clippers here. And if you can see, I'm going to put it on here just so far down where I still got a little tail there to get a hold of it. Pop that right off of there. Lay that aside. And put that there. And we're going to do the same here. We're just going to grip it in there. Just so you can see we have a little bit to get a hold of. Actually, we're going to go up a hair more. There we go. And then pop that baby right off of there. And there we have it. We got 2 eyes. Okay. And then we're going to take our little froggy right here. Let me shake this up a little bit. I have to get another bottle out, but I want to use this up first. So we're just going to squeeze it down in there. And we're going to take our first eye and we're going to pop him right in there and push him back. Just ever so lightly. Get him up in there so he stays. And then we're going to put him under the light. And we'll hold it underneath there for a few minutes and then we will let it rest. There we have it. Okay. And while that's going, I'll show you yesterday, and they're no bigger than the tip of my pinky. They're teeny tiny butterflies, and we had poured a few of them with our leftover blue glitters. And so there's a teeny tiny butterfly. And then, as you can see, they all pretty much come out the same. Okay? So there's your butterflies. Get those put over here because you don't have to do anything to those. They're just little extra craft flies. And we sell them from time to time. I usually put them up by bags full, and I put them on my web page, and you guys can go on there. It's Crafts Her Way at mightysites.com. Okay, pretty close to that. It is in the description box of my YouTube channel if you like and subscribe, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you do that, then you will be entered into the drawing monthly and or weekly every Friday, and we have a drawing for our goody little trick-or-treat bags, and in them is the lucky green turtle, and also in them is the shaker and a keychain and a little emblem and the lucky green spider. And whoever gets the drawing for the lucky green spider, well, you get an extra prize. And then we're going to take now and put the other eye down. So we're going to squeegee this. I got to kind of shake it down in there again. There we go. This one's about empty, but I wanted to use the last of it up. So there's enough in here for my little eyeballs. Oops, come on you. And if I just get her down in there, you can see she's crooked. And turn her, and then place her in the side of the eye. And if you kind of look at the other one, you can eyeball them. That one's got to go up. And then you can see they're the same. And when they both look good, then you put them back over underneath the UV light. Or you can stick them outside in sunlight, but UV light works pretty quick for me. So there you have it. And then as soon as that comes out, we'll get her laid up, and then we'll start mixing some resin for fun. First of all, I want to show you all. This is our lucky green turtle card. And it says the green turtle brings fortune, brings lots of luck. And then we take a little bitty green turtle, like this one that's up here in the corner. And she's probably no bigger than the tip of my finger, like about there from the tip of my finger. And so she goes on there and you get your lucky little green turtle. And we made these little cards up for the turtles. But in Japan, if you find a lucky turtle, they say if you put a penny in its mouth, it brings you money and fortune. So look that up. Look up the lucky green turtle. It'll tell you about it. Turn that on one more time. And while we wait for our turtle to cure, we're going to go ahead and pour some mold, some blue for these little guys. And these are Mama's coasters. So let me see if I can make some room, get that one down here so you can see them. I've been making coasters for my mom, okay? And so she has a table setting. Now these are for her table. Not the great big ones, but the little ones. And so since her coffee cups are sticking to her, so she has coasters like this, and they're wooden on bottom, and then they got some kind of a picture on them. So when your cup goes on it and it gets wet and you pick it up, your cup brings up the whole thing. So we are making her some glitter ones like I just showed you in the blue. And so we're going to go ahead and set Mr. Frog up here in the corner. He is all ready to be poured. And we are going to go ahead and sit these guys over here. Let's see if I can get that one back up there where you can at least see me pour that one because it will be on surface. And then maybe that one. I'm going to scoot these over. Let me move these down, guys. Hold your horses. There we go. Now if I get these poured where you can see them going in, it might be a different story. So let's get started. I need to pull this down some because it is right up on the edge. There we go. Now maybe they'll be a little straighter. All right, we're going to use some resin. So for today, we have our cup here. And if you can see where it says 150, so we're going to do 150 and 150, which makes 300. So I'm going to sit it here where we can do this together. And this is it's Fair Mud Coat resin. And I'm just going to pour that into the top, into the bucket. And I'm going to watch my pour. And when I get to 150, I'm going to stop. Okay. And then I'm going to take my B, which this one is B. Kind of hard to see. I apologize. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to pour it up to 300. And B is your hardener. And A is your, more or less, your epoxy. They're both epoxy, but one's epoxy hardener and one's epoxy resin. Alrighty. Then we're going to take this here and we're just going to give it a good stir. All right, and we're going to set that aside for a minute and just let it bubble up because we don't have a purifier, and if it just bubbles to the top, then we'll stir it again. And on that note, I am going to get the colors out, and I will be right back. All right. And let me scoot this over. It's been all stirred up, so now we're going to take our blue glitter, which goes into our coasters. And we're going to take our blue. This is our blue, and we're going to add just a dab of blue in there. And then we're going to take our glitter, and we're going to pour it all in there as much as we can get in. We want it nice and thick. And it's a lot, but it is staying, and it really does rise in these coasters, okay? So there we have it. Oops, we got it. I want to grab this up here, throw it inside. Okay, get it off my edge of my cup. All right, now we're going to we're going to stir. Sorry, guys, I'm tongue-tied. And stir and stir and stir. And you want to just stir that in there really nice and thick. And just keep stirring. Make sure you get around your edges really good. Oops. Okay. And again, you're going to just give it a really good stir. All right. And I think we might just add a little bit more. So let's add just a little bit more. Because I can see where the white is coming to the top. So there we go. I just want it to be nice and thick. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that again. All right. Now I'll lay my stick down here. I'm going to take my little wipe and just wipe it off so I get all that glitter off of there for the moment. Okay, and then I'm just going to turn my cup up and I'm going to go over here. Oops, let me dump that. It looks like we got a little bit of glitter in there, so I just pound them out. These are rubber lids, and they work really well for the coasters. So I'm going to give them a good pour. And I don't want to bubble them over. And give this one a good pour. And like I said, I don't want to bubble that one over either. That was really close. And yesterday, I had to prop this end up with a popsicle. And I think I'm going to do it again today. All right, so right here, under there, I just need to get a popsicle stick. Make that nice and level. Now, if you stay in there and talk back to it, it works sometimes. Okay. And then, so once again, we're going to go down here and we're just going to start with our turtle because we're doing blues today. And so I'm going to go ahead and pour my another blue turtle shaker. that's level. So I'm going to take my cup back over here. And I'm just going to squeegee some of this out so we don't have to cut no corners. Everything's nice and clean. I don't really like getting in there and doing all that grinding, so I'm just taking it out, as you can see. Oh, you can't see. I'm so sorry. I'll show you. So as you can see, I just took some of it out. So what I'm doing, I apologize, is I am just grabbing it, pulling it towards the center where it's kind of run over, and just pulling it out of there. If I scrape it off, there you have it. I'll get this side. It's easier to clean it up now than it is to fight to try to get all that sanding and filing done in the middle. Little things are okay, but the bigger ones, oh, it makes a mess. So there you have it. And that's my turtle. And we're going to stick her back here and let her dry. And real quick, we're going to take the turtle that's all together and show you he's in there. And he's all together. As you can see, you just keep shaking it till you get your butterfly back up to the top. And sometimes you can do that. She'll come right back through. You can see her popping back through there, okay? And so that one is ready to be dried over there. And now we're going to take the snowflakes we have. And I think what I want to do with the rest of this here is go ahead and just pour it in these little lids. So I have these little lids here that I'm going to be using for pours, and I'll get it in there a little bit, you can kind of see. And remember, don't over pour. And that one is done. And we'll move it over here, sit her flat. And then we're going to do the same on this one here. Let me get it over here so you can see what I did. This one here, we're just going to pour the last of it in. Okay, and we're going to scrape our cup, and we got to make it. So let's get her. Oh, we're so close. Get the rest of this out of here. We're getting there, people. We're getting there. She's not going to be all that full. So I'm thinking I can scoop just a little off the top of my other small one and then level these two up. So give me just 1 second. Well, that is going to be that. And I don't think it's going to come out to be all that level. So we're going to oops. Let me get the rest of this real quick back into the bowl. I dribbled it out. Of course, you don't want to do that because then you make a mess. There we go. I'm going to set this one over here so it will level itself out. That's not very level on that back. Okay. And there we have that. And next, get my gloves wiped off here. All right. And next we're going to be doing the same thing, but I'm going to be using the little measure cup. And we're going to be using one of these. And I'm going to fill this up to do my frog. But before I do the frog, I'm going to put some in here. I'm trying to clean this off. This one here is my mold for my little turtle shaker. And I just want to give it a good clean. And get all the resin off of it. And the sparkle. No more glitter. Still down inside there just a little bit. See, we even got it on the phone. How about that? Look at all that glitter, guys. It goes everywhere. Them little shakers aren't very big. Okay, that's good. That's our little shaker. Still got tons in there. Can you see it? It just takes forever to get that glitter out. You just have to keep pinching and washing it. That's better, huh? I gotta get it off the edge. That's way better. Okay, so before we do the turtle and the stars, we are going to use the clear to go ahead and pour this. Okay, so I will get that mixed up and I will be right back. All right, I got my resin all mixed up and I took some blue. It's just eco-friendly blue. And I put a very light dab in there. As you can see, it's barely a color. And then I'm going to take my snowflakes and I'm just going to sprinkle them in there. Right down in my cup. Just like that. And then I'm going to stir them in there. Okay? Stir them right down inside my cup. Until I get them all nice and scraped around the edges. And if they float to the bottom, that's okay because it's your snowflake face. So that is the front of your snowflake, so that makes it just fine. Alrighty. There we have it. Now, I'm going to pour it in a little cup because it makes it, we'll try it in a big cup. Just hold on. As you can see, my little snowflake here. Let me get him up here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to pour. You don't want to over pour it because then it runs all over the place. You want to kind of scrape some of that out. And try not to get it in Mom's coasters because that would not be good. So I have a little dab there I got to kind of wipe out. I still say that is going downhill somewhere, so let's just sit it flat. And we're going to set it over here. So it's nice and flat. There we have it. There we go. All right. That's still a little off too. They're moving it. There we go. I think we got it level. Now we're going to do the same with this one. And I'll go ahead and get it up here so you can see me pour it. And we're just going to pour some in the second little one. And like I said, you don't want to run them over. Kind of want to take my stick and just go around this little point. I forgot to do that on the other one. But you want to make sure that you make a good circle on that point. Okay. And we're kind of going to run just a little bit. So I'm going to take my big popsicle stick again. I'm just going to scoop into it and scrape it up here. Just kind of get, oops, some of that out of there without dropping it in Mom's circle. I'll have to dab them out in a minute. Now I think that one's going to stay level. Now I'm going to go ahead and set it over here with the other one. So I know they're nice and level and they won't pour downhill. Okay. Now you have it. And then over here, let me move my snowflake baggie. You can see I have a big one. And that's the outside of it. And this is the inside. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pour the last of this into the bigger snowflake. And just give it a good pour. And then I'm just going to go ahead and scrape it all down in there. And there you go. Just like that. Okay. And there's that one. All right. Now, all we have left to do is this and our froggy. So we're going to take our little frog, which I think I would rather set her down here. So let me move this cup. I'm going to set her right there. So hopefully she's nice and level. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a turn. No, that's not going to work. There we go. See if we can get you back down here so you can see what I'm doing. Throw this cup out. And I think for her, we are going to use another one of these. And so I take this cup and I take this small cup And I pour in one whole thing of A, and I'm using Total Boat art resin. And I'm going to pour this little bitty cup all the way up. Yeah, that ought to work. And then I'm going to pour it into here, and that's my A. And then I'm going to take me a popsicle stick. 1 second, I need to grab one of the bigger ones. So I'm going to take my popsicle stick and just scrape that in there. Nice and easy. Scrape this cup out, getting all of A out of there. Just like that. There you have it. And now we're going to do B. So B is the same. It's the Total Boat Art resin. Sometimes they're hard to open. Sometimes they're easy. So it doesn't help. Let me change my glove real quick. When you have sticky gloves and you can't get a hold of it. There we have it. All right. Then we're going to twist that one all the way full again. Okay. Now let me grab another glove. Always wear gloves, guys. I know that I haven't lately, but you're supposed to. I have my moments where I do, and I forget to throw them on, but you're supposed to wear them. It protects your hands and your skin. I'm just going to scrape that off and keep scraping that out of there. Putting all of the B in there. Okay. And then we're just going to stir this just like this. And you're going to stir it until it's good and stirred together.